What is up, you guys? It is Friday. It's March 14th, 2025. There's some serious anger and frustration coming out of Washington, D.C. Let's get into it. So, the Democratic Party was fracturing Friday as a torrent of frustration and anger was unleashed at the Senate Democrats led by Senator Chuck Schumer, who faced what they saw as an awful choice, either to shut the government down or consent to a Republican funding bill that allows Donald Trump to continue to slash the federal government. What did Schumer do? After Schumer announced Thursday that he would reluctantly support the bill, he bore the brunt of that anger, including a protest at his office, calls from progressives that he be primaried in 2028, and suggestions that the Democratic Party would soon be looking for new leaders. Literally, the only leverage, the only glimmer of hope, Schumer decided to support the Republican bill. Bottom line, that's what he did. So however they try to manipulate it left or right, I stand by what I said in January after Trump got inaugurated. I stand by it. And that is any Democrat that votes for any initiative, amendment, bill, anything needs to be voted out because they are not working for us. Let's resume. Since their election losses, Democrats have been hunkered against a barrage of Trump's early actions in office, locked out of legislative power, and left searching for a plan to regain political momentum. But as Schumer prepared to let pass one of the rare moments when the party might regain leverage in Washington, the Democratic Party erupted in a moment of anger that had been building for months. Many in the party felt that the New York Democrat was not showing sufficient fight. We've seen that. Arguing that a government shutdown would force Trump and Republicans to the negotiating table. Yet for Schumer, who has led Democrats since Trump took office in 2016, the choice ultimately came down to preventing a shutdown that he believed would only hand Trump more power and leave his party with the blame for disruptions to government services. Still, as the Senate headed for a crucial vote on the government funding bill, hardly any Democrats were speaking up in support of Schumer's strategy. It was a remarkable turn for the longtime Democratic leader, leaving him standing practically alone. Oh, there was a couple, and I will do another news report about that. Don't you worry. Speaker Emirata Nancy Pelosi, his longtime ally and partner in funding fights of the past, said in a statement, "Let's be clear, neither is a good option for the American people, but this false choice that some are buying instead of fighting is unacceptable." Meanwhile, some of the nation's most influential progressive groups warned of serious political consequences for Senate Democrats and predicted a fierce backlash when members of Congress return home from next week. They all went on a little retreat. Ezra Levin, co-founder of Indivisible, which has organized hundreds of protests across the nation, said that nearly 8 in 10 of group activists support primary challenges against Senate Democrats who cave on the GOP bill. He wrote on social media that the vast majority of those Democratic activists plan to express their anger at town halls or any other public events next week. Move On, another progressive group that claims nearly 10 million members nationwide, predicted that its activists would also demand answers from the Democratic officials in the coming days, clearing the way for Donald Trump and Elon Musk to gut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid is unacceptable. It's past time for Democrats to fight and to stop acting like it's business as usual, said Joel Payne, a spokesperson for Move On. In a social media post, Anna Caprara, the chief of staff for Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, argued that the party could unify around a fight with Trump. The fight going on in the Democratic Party right now is not between hard left, and moderate. It's between those who want to fight and those that want to cave. I think that's beautifully said. Adding, misread this at your own peril. Even in the Senate, Democrats were mostly unwilling to speak up to defend Schumer's move. Senator Raphael Warnock, a Georgia Democrat, even suggested that the party should be looking for new leaders in the coming years. He says, I think come 26, 28, we'll get some new leadership, he said. His office later said that Warnock was answering the question broadly, because of course, that's another weak one. So, like I said, I stand by what I said. I went off on a huge tangent in January. And where I said any Democrat who votes for any Republican bill or initiative should be voted out. Now, this goes for Chuck Schumer. This goes for Hakeem Jeffries, who received $2.5 million from SpaceX and Palantir after the Trump inauguration. This also goes for the Democrats that voted to censure Representative Al Green. Side note, just so you guys know, Chuck Schumer will be starting next week. He'll be going on his little Zionist book tour. So his book should be boycotted, and he needs to be called out on his book tour, and he needs to be voted out. That's all I've got for now. That was a rough one. That one got my blood a little boiling. But make sure that you repost, you copy, you save, you comment, you tap that screen. Most importantly, that you follow me here. Click on that bell so that you're notified that every time that I come out with a new video or I go live. And up there in my bio, I've got a link. It goes to my YouTube link, and it's completely free to you to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers there. I'm trying to get to 10K here, and TikTok, help me out. I love you guys. Much love. Peace.